Hello, this is Tom, TC Tiny. Welcome to my bushfire resistant solar trailer. We're here in the area of Castlemaine in Victoria. We're obviously in a bushfire zone and we're in an off-grid property as well. So they've asked for a substantial amount of power, which can also still operate post-bushfire. So here it is behind me. It's 5 metres long, 3.5 metres tall. The firebox is at the front and that's full of inverters and batteries. Weighs 1.8 tonne on a 2.8 tonne chassis. So I've towed it here with a pretty standard car, obviously, just a Ford Ranger. So behind me you can see the solar panels. There's 8 panels all up. They're 390 watts, equating to just over 2.6 kilowatts, which is more than plenty for an off-grid setup. It should run 2 or even 3 tiny houses as long as they're using gas for hot water. This trailer also doubles up as a flatbed trailer. You've got about 3.5 metres there of flat space, fold down tailgate as well, and it can carry a full tonne with the spare weight. All 4 corners have stabilisers on them, so we've just got a wind down stabiliser here. It's pretty simple. We all know how these operate. It's important that we also have tie downs. So just here I've got a sizable lug that can be tied down because fires create extremely strong winds. On the outside of just on the cover here, we've got the readout from the batteries. We've also got a double 15 amp power outlet and a 15 amp power inlet as well if we need it. Behind me is the fire door, steel on the outside, and then we've got about 70 mil of non-conductive material which is primarily timber and rock wool insulation. We've got sizable bolts which are always tight. If they're not tight, it's not really doing its job. One top, one bottom. When we open it up, got plenty of room inside, doubling as a fire safe. We've got a few hooks here for leads when we need it. So just on the inside here, we've got three lips where the door closes, a couple of timber ones, and then we've got a silicone seal as well, which has got 4 lips on it. So it's a smoke screen, dust, heat, just about everything you can throw at it, not going to make it inside. So behind me we've got brand new lithium batteries. They're small, but they've got an enormous amount of charge. So there's 16.7 kilowatts of storage there, or 340 amp hours if you're working on the 48 volt. It's a relatively simple system, as simple as we can make it. For starters, we've got 12 volt power. That's important because when the 240 volt cuts, we still want to be able to charge phones or use for lighting. Simple things such as a composting toilet might still require 12 volt power during winter when perhaps your batteries have completely run out. We've also got, running off the 12 volt, we've got USB plugs and a cigarette port similar to your car, so you can hook just about anything into that you need. A couple of charge controllers, works out a bit more economic if we can split them, and of course circuit breakers. Circuit breaker in and out here as well for the outlets, and we've also got Victron 5 kilowatt inverter for the 240. So this box here, a bit unusual, but it's there's one on this side, there's one on the other side. It's a very passive vent. This blocker can come off. It operates in a couple of functions. You can either slide the plug straight into that slot, or leave it in a slightly more open position with the batteries with the magnets holding it behind. It's a vent through to the other side. There's fire mesh and bug mesh. Here's the other vent on the front of the door. It's a bit higher, so hot air can actually move up and out, creating a bit of a thermosiphon should the inverters or also the charge controllers create a bit too much heat for the inside. The cladding is a magnesium board similar to what I've used on multiple tiny houses. It's painted with Portman's paint, which gives it that rusty appearance. It's definitely not steel. We don't want to use steel because it conducts heat. On the inside of it there is a rock wool insulation, which hasn't got a particularly high R rating, but it's also flame resistant as well, so should the outside get damaged, it's going to remain fire resistant. I hope that was a useful video. Please check out my other videos on fireproofing techniques and off-grid tiny houses.